Hello, hello! Back again. Did you subscribe already? If not, right now is the best moment. Just, it's such a nice feeling that you know that every time a new video comes, you subscribe and you put the bell button and then everything is fine. And if you don't want to subscribe because you are afraid that you will be traced and things like this, then just leave a comment or a thumbs up, and a small interaction is already changing a lot for me. Today, my work consists in building new instruments from the piece of wood all the way up until you get the violin. And there is one process during the construction of every instrument that the maker has to decide what setup. Now, here on this is a Linea Macchi violin, and the pegs and the tailpiece are in boxwood, okay? We make that in boxwood in this case because I think compared to the Scala Perfetta where we put them ebony, I think that if the setup, especially on the pegs, is a little bit lighter, it is a little bit more free in sound. It could be true as it could be also completely nonsense. It's a little bit how you feel it, how you like the sound, how it comes out. I'm originally from Austria. It's the capital of classical music. Competition is extremely high. There are more violin teachers only in Vienna, Austria than in entire Germany, okay? This is how it is nowadays. In the last few years became like this. So competition is high and everybody wants the maximum out of this instrument, and more high precious instruments, Guarnieris. If you go through the catalog of Guarnieris, there's not a single Guarnieri with ebony pegs, for instance, but that doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. And sometimes if you put in ebony, a little bit more heavier pegs, it sounds definitely different. Tailpiece, another question. I made already videos about it. It should be a certain frequency, the tailpiece. So if you just make it light and you carve inside out, usually this is not good because it has to have a certain weight in order that everything works properly and great. The frequency should be about 220 Hertz, I think, okay? I never measured it, by the way, okay? But still, it's a frequency of that part, which if you change it and you make it too light, it's changing that frequency and the whole thing is very likely creating a wolf tone even, or things like this. Okay, so once you are now with boxwood, rosewood or ebony, then you have always the choice of the chin rest. And the chin rest is also interesting because of how I made already a few videos. People tend to be just a little bit, they match the color and they just say, oh, this one is the best color to this one, you know, and then they put on, this one is a little bit different wood, huh? And then they choose just the wood which matches to this fitting, to the setup here. But actually, I personally think that ebony is a little bit more nowadays sound ideal, yeah? So from a Guarnieri overlapping ebony chin rest or the small one on the side with the traditional screws, I prefer that small one because it gives a little bit more crunchy E-string, okay? And I think it matches very well the fingerboard with this one, and it doesn't really disturb me. Now here's the ebony, ebony, ebony. I think this matches very well. But there's some people who say, nah, you cannot do that, it just doesn't match. Yeah? But you can do everything, it's your instrument. You can even have a different tailpiece and different pegs. Indeed, on Stradivarius and Guarnieris, where they always want the maximum out of it because they paid already that much money, you can see it pretty frequently that they have an ebony tailpiece and boxwood pegs, for instance. Yeah, So what do you think about what is your preference, and how could we figure out somehow that you get what you actually would love to see on your instrument? What do you think? What fitting should I put? Is it okay that I put here the ebony small size chin rest with the boxwood? I'm curious to know that, and you leave the comment down below here, okay? And we open an open discussion. That's all the video here about. I'm very curious to hear your opinion. Subscribe meanwhile and leave your comment and your experience about it. See you soon. Ciao, ciao. Bye-bye.